Hi everyone. In this video, we are going to see how to identify common columns between two tables in SQL. So generally, when do we want to identify the common columns between two tables or multiple tables? When we want to join the tables. So for joining the table, we generally need to identify the common columns. If the table is very small, like if it is having only 10 or 15 columns, then it is easier. Just by looking at the table we can identify, just by looking at the structure of the table we can identify what are the common columns between the two tables or multiple tables. But in the real time scenarios, generally you have a warehouse wherein you have big tables with hundreds of columns, so then it becomes difficult to identify the common columns if there are no primary keys, or if there are no unique keys defined basically in your table. In that case, how using the query you can identify the common columns between two tables, that's what we are going to see in this particular video. So let's see how we can do it just by writing the query. Okay, so method one is, basically we are going to use the information schema. From the information schema we are going to identify the common columns between the tables, between two tables. So how we can do it using query? First is select a dot column name from information schema dot columns a, join information schema dot columns b. So basically we are doing self join on the columns table in the information schema. As you know, in an information schema you'll have table related data, you have all the columns related data, so you'll have a columns table, a table name called columns, in which you have all the information related to that, all the columns that are present in your warehouse. Okay, along with its table information. So as you can see here, I have given one example, like column table. In your information schema you have a column table in which you have the table name, and what are the columns that belongs to that particular table. uh, that type of information is stored. So here what we are doing is we are doing the self join on this particular column table. Okay, so we have provided the alias as columns a, join information schema dot columns b on a dot column name is equal to b dot column name, where the a dot column name is equal to b dot column name, we are joining it on this column name. Okay, basically we are doing the self join where a dot table name is equal to table 1 and b dot table name is equal to table 2. So we have, as you see here, we have table 1. For table 1 we have column 1 and column 2, and for table 2 we have column 5, column 2 and column 3. So for table 1 and table 2 we have column 2 as the common column, and we can use this column 2 for joining. Okay, so just an example. So this, to identify this column 2, we will be using this particular query. Okay, so what this query will do, we will it will identify what are the common columns, when a dot table name is equal to table 1 and b dot table name is equal to table 2 from this particular column table. So this is how using self join we can identify it. There is one more method, like using the grouping, using group by and having clause, by identifying the duplicate record for the columns from this particular table. We can write a select column name from information schema column C, that is column table, where table name in table 1 comma table 2, we are going to group by column name having count of column name is equal to 2. So we are going to count the column name, we are going to count wherever the column name is appearing twice. For table 1 and table 2, we'll be getting the output of that particular column name from this particular table. So that's how we can achieve, or we can identify the common columns between two tables when we have more number of columns in our tables. I hope you like the video. Thank you for watching.